What's up cricket fans, welcome to Reverse Swing the cricket show. मैं हूं आपका दोस्त अहमद और जैसे कि आप जानते हैं आज क्रिकेट का मैच तो हुआ नहीं between Pakistan and England due to the weather conditions, but आज 15th August, which means Happy Independence Day for India, so wishing the best to all of our Indian fans and subscribers. और आज 15 अगस्त के दिन एक बहुत ही important breaking news आई थी, which is Mahendra Singh Dhoni has finally announced his retirement. And with that, Besabriyan, one of my favorite songs from MSD, MS Dhoni, The Untold Story, a biopic that was made on the Indian cricket team captain, and it featured the late Sushant Singh Rajput. बड़ी अच्छी मूवी, अगर आपने नहीं देखी है वो हाईली रिकमेंडेड. आई थिंक हमारी प्रीवियस कुछ वीडियोस में वर्ल्ड कप के टाइम पे भी वी रेफरेंस्ड इट क्वाइट अ बिट. आई लाइक इट बिकॉज just gave us a very deep kind of insight into Dhoni. Seems to be a very private person in real life, but एक उनके काफ़ी उनकी लाइफ के बारे में जानने को मिला था, और it was good to see him, how he kind of started as a cricketer, right, and then got to the heights which he reached in his career. तो आप सोच रहे होंगे कभी आज भाई को क्यों हो गया. कल भाई एक अलग रूप में आए थे टोपी शोपी पहन के, और होपफुली वो पड़ोसी ने शिकायत नहीं की, और आज भाई दूसरे रूप में आ गए बिल्कुल कमांडो शमांडो बन के. तो I'll explain a bit. But let's talk about, I think definitely MS की retirement जो है, it creates some sort of a bittersweet moment for not just Indian cricket fans, but also like global cricket fans or true, fans of the sport. धोनी जो है काफ़ी बड़ा नाम है क्रिकेट की दुनिया में, और उनको काफ़ी खिताब दिए गए हैं. People call him Mahi, MSD, धोनी, Captain Cool, थाला के नाम से भी जाने जाते हैं, because he leads the Chennai Super Kings team in IPL, और काफ़ी बड़ी fan following उनकी वहाँ पे. He's won a lot of titles for CSK as well. So if you look, I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about his career, right? 10,000 plus international runs, double digit centuries. He's won World Cups for India, T20 भी जीते हुए हैं. He's won the 50 over World Cup as well. It was under his captaincy where players like Sachin Tendulkar were finally able to win a World Cup, and then obviously India की जो test ranking थी, they were able to get to the number 1 test ranking under his leadership as well. So हमारी जो relationship में मेरी personally, I'll kind of like to focus on that part, right? Because for us, for me personally, it's been a love-hate relationship with MSD, or I've had similar types of relationship with other cricketers that I like a lot. For example, like Shahid Afridi is one that I've had immense love for, and then at the same time you just don't understand what's going on. So अगर MSD का देखें profile, so when he came, what I liked about him was the fact that बड़ा ही उनकी flamboyance थी उनके अंदर, right? Or while he's very laid back, very down to earth, he's always very kind of keeping things to himself, right? Always very calculated about the decisions that he would take while on the cricket field and while also outside the cricket field. और काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें हैं जो वेल डॉक्यूमेंटेड हैं, जो अगर आप मूवी भी देखेंगे उसमें एक्सप्लेन की गई हैं. When he came and he finally rose through the ranks and he finally got that leadership position in the Indian cricket team, all the different politics that you have to go through when you have to bench certain players, right? जो बहुत बड़े बड़े नाम होते हैं, जो पाकिस्तानी क्रिकेट टीम में भी काफ़ी नाम होते हैं. I'm sure Indian cricket team maybe there's a lot of nepotism, there's a lot of politics, there's a lot of lobbying that happens कि certain player को आपने खिलाना है या एक quota system आपका होता है. So it was very difficult for somebody that comes from his background, right? And based on the biopic and based on what I know at least about his background is, was never really a fan of cricket. He was more interested in football, and that's how he got into wicket keeping. And then जिस तरह की वो शुरू में jobs वगैरह करते थे as a TC and all, for him to get the level of fame that he did in the country that's the size of India is it's totally immaculate, right? और दूसरी बात यह है कि the one thing which he had was the desire to continue to improve, right, his personal performances and instill that same level of confidence in his team. तो अगर आप इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम में की तारीख में कैप्टन्स देखे हैं जो एटलीस्ट जब से मैंने क्रिकेट देखना फॉलो करना शुरू की थी, बहुत ही गिनती के मतलब बहुत ही कम नाम हैं जो इस तरह के मैं कह सकता हूँ कि इस तरह के कैप्टन्स थे. द वन नेम that really strikes or comes to mind is of Sourav Ganguly, right? I think जब वो when he became the captain, he really changed the dynamic of the Indian cricket team. एक थोड़ी सी aggression में नज़र आना शुरू की, and I think MSD just kind of came and took it to the next level. But one thing which I liked about MSD is that if you look at him while he was on the pitch, his emotions are totally like non-existent. You would never see him कैसा बॉलर या भड़क के किसी से बात करना या अपने अगर फील्ड प्लेसमेंट सही नहीं है तो इस तरह बोलना. He would take his responsibility, and what I really liked about him as a person is the fact that how he used to channel all the energies, जितनी भी negative energy होती है, and how he used to translate that into his team into positive energy. That's very important as a leader, and that's the one of the facets which I really truly liked about him. I think at a later part of his career, you would notice that it came to a point where he started getting a bit more vocal, verbal, and frustrated with certain things that were happening a certain way. But that would happen, certain time. But all in all, I think he was a fantastic leader. जो दूसरी बात एमएस की है वो ये है कि he was able to take an immense amount of pressure, right? तो even जो फाइनल जो श्रीलंका के खिलाफ जीता था, if you watch the movie, it's good because it gives you some of that context, right? I think I believe Yuvraj was supposed to go and bat, and I think Murli was was bowling at the time. So MS, raised his hand and said, "Hey, I'm going to go and bat because UV is a lefty, and I'm a righty. So obviously, ball for an off spinner is going to come towards me. So let me go and take the charge, right?" बहुत ही एक मुश्किल काम होता है एक कैप्टन के लिए इस तरह का डिसीजन लेना व्हेन एवरीथिंग इज़ ऑन द लाइन. और अगर आप रिसेंटली तारीख में देखें तो बहुत ही सेलेक्ट फ्यू ऐसे लीडर्स हैं दैट विल वांट टू टेक द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, स्पेशली इफ़ यू आर रिप्रेजेंटिंग अ कंट्री लाइक इंडिया और पाकिस्तान, राइट? बिकॉज इफ़ यू डोंट डिलीवर what the repercussions are going to be. The other thing which I kind of liked about MS is the fact, the amount of like style or swagger that he brought as an Indian or subcontinental cricketer, right? तो अगर आप इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम की बात करें, पाकिस्तानी टीम में तो बहुत एक से एक शोधे बने हुए हैं, एक से एक हीरो बने हुए हैं. आप इंस्टाग्राम जाकर देख लें, आपको नज़र आ जाएंगी सबकी सेल्फीज़ और कहाँ घूम रहे हैं, कहाँ फिर रहे हैं. इंडियन टीम में इतना इस तरह का वो नहीं था कॉन्सेप्ट, राइट? अगर आप देखें भी हिस्टोरिकली स्टाइलिश क्रिकेटर्स थे, आई वुड से प्रोबेबली समबडी लाइक कपिल देव आई वुड कॉल स्टाइलिश क्रिकेटर, राइट? और उसके बाद एक और मेरे जहन में नाम आ रहा है भी अजहरुद्दीन आई थिंक वाज स्टाइलिश क्रिकेटर एज वेल. एक स्वैगर होता है उनके. तो MSD काइंड ऑफ ब्रॉट दैट टू द इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम इन अ वेरी सटल वे, राइट? जब वो आए तो ऑब्वियसली वो बाल थोड़े लंबे लंबे हो गए, दैट आई डोंट रिकॉल कि स्टाइलिश पे वो बालों के कलर भी हो गए थे. देन इट बिकेम अ पॉइंट वेयर ही जस्ट शेव्ड हिज हेड ऑफ एंड देन क्रिकेट आ गया था. देन ही स्टार्टेड द मोहॉक. तो एक तरीके से थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट, थोड़ा हट के, थोड़ा सोच के करते थे. Definitely a trendsetter in that regards, and that's fine. I mean, nothing wrong with that as long as you are performing on the field and those you have that stats to back up whatever you're doing. So I kind of like that about him. थोड़ा different करके करते थे, थोड़ा uniqueness उनके अंदर थी. The other thing, the reason I'm wearing this today, if you don't really know about MSD, he's a big supporter of the Indian Army, and not that I'm endorsing the Indian Army by any means, but one of the things that you would always see him wearing would be camouflage, right? Camo, जिसे हम कहते हैं. So, not endorsing any military or army agendas here, but, you'd always see him wearing sporting and military hat or like equipment ka bag bhi aap dekhenge. So it was used to be like a camo blended type of material or camo looking bag, right? So, even if you look at his gloves, at certain point when he was wearing the gloves, they were camouflage gloves. So that's the reason, paying a tribute to MSD. Definitely a big cricketer और काफ़ी अच्छी इनिंग्स उन्होंने खेली हैं, काफ़ी मशहूर इनिंग्स खेली हैं. पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ भी काफ़ी उन्होंने परफॉर्म किया है, विच इज़ फाइन. एंड देन काफ़ी उनके ट्रेडमार्क विकेट कीपिंग में डिसमिसल्स भी हैं. आई थिंक वन ऑफ द आई डोंट वांट टू रैंक हिम राइट नाउ, बट आई थिंक डेफिनेटली मेरे टॉप 5 क्रिकेटर्स विकेट कीपिंग बैट्समैन में वो शुमार करते हैं. And then, trademark shots, like, guys know the helicopter shot that he's played so many times, which has been copied by so many players right now. And it's just a tremendous new, way to get runs. I think the other thing which I liked about MSD was the way he managed, थोड़ा सा touch किया था earlier, he instilled confidence in his younger teammates, right? So when you look at somebody like Virat Kohli and the amount of success which he's getting, when you look at somebody like Rohit Sharma and the amount of success which he's getting, same can be said about Shikhar Dhawan, and then जो भी अभी उनके अंडर खेल चुके हैं बैट्समैन जैसे इवन युवराज सिंह to some extent, right? And also the legends that were able to play with him, like Sachin Tendulkar हो गए या वीरेंद्र सहवाग हो गए, तो उन सबको it was a very important position for him to be in, because he was kind of captaining the legends at one point, but then also grooming the younger players, and the result is right there, right? I mean, if you look at Virat Kohli and the type of leader that he is for the Indian cricket team, and if you look at, as an example, Rohit Sharma and the type of leader that he has from Mumbai Indians, you can see where that comes from, right? So ये बड़ा important था, because while he helped kind of push out the older generation of Indian cricketers, at the same time he helped groom the future generation of Indian cricket. देख रहे हैं, India is one of the, I mean, it is one of the top cricketing nations in the world, and the numbers are there to prove it, right? And Virat Kohli is an immense leader as well, an exceptional batsman, and the crop just keeps on coming. They have a good steady health, and I think Dhoni absolutely has a lot to contribute towards that success. बिटर स्वीट है डेफिनेटली उनका रिटायर होना. हमारे शो में हमने काफ़ी धोनी की तफरी भी ली है, क्योंकि हमें शो भी चलाना होता है. And then we'll put in a couple segments. I mean, there's one segment that we did here when India had that very exciting game in the World Cup. So we'll just plug in a short clips of that video right here. And then, it is definitely bittersweet, because there comes a point in every cricketer's career where, you watch them play and you want them to continue to play, and you want them to take. India is one of the, I mean, it is one of the top cricketing nations in the world, and the numbers are there to prove it, right? And Virat Kohli is an immense leader as well, an exceptional batsman, and the crop just keeps on coming. They have a good steady health, and I think Dhoni absolutely has a lot to contribute towards that success. बिटर स्वीट है डेफिनेटली उनका रिटायर होना. हमारे शो में हमने काफ़ी धोनी की तफरी भी ली है, क्योंकि हमें शो भी चलाना होता है. And then we'll put in a couple segments. I mean, there's one segment that we did here when India had that very exciting game in the World Cup. So we'll just plug in a short clips of that video right here.
कितने आदमी थे?
सरदार, 2 थे.
2 आदमी. IPL के बच्चों, वो 2 थे और तुम 11, फिर भी वापस आ गए खाली हाथ. क्या समझ कर आए थे कि सरदार बहुत खुश होगा, शाबाशी देगा?
सरदार, खाली हाथ नहीं, कप लेके आए.
खामोश. अरे ओ सांबा, क्या इनाम रखे हैं आईसीसी वर्ल्ड कप जीतने का?
सरदार, पूरे 50 करोड़.
सुना? पूरे 50 करोड़. और ये इनाम इसलिए है कि हम आईसीसी को 50 महीने से पेमेंट कर रहे हैं. जानते हो, जब बाकी टीमें रोते हुए आईसीसी के पास जाती हैं, तो आईसीसी क्या कहता है कि यहां से भाग जाओ बेटा, भाग जाओ, वरना बीसीसीआई आ जाएगा. तुम 3 हरामजादे ये बीसीसीआई का नाम दबो कर आए हो, हमारा नाम पूरी मिट्टी में मिला दिए. इसकी सजा मिलेगी, बराबर मिलेगी. कितनी गोली है इसके अंदर?
सरदार, पूरी 6.
6 गोली. और आदमी 3 बहुत नाइंसाफी है।
सरदार सबको दो मार दो।
खामोश।
सरदार मशीन गन लाओ।
नहीं, वो रवि शास्त्री के जहरीले काजू लेकर आओ। बच गया,
बच गया, बच गया,
ये भी बच गया।
बच गया।
तेरा क्या होगा पांड्या?
सरदार, मैंने आपका नमक खाया है।
अब ये रवि शास्त्री के नमकीन जहरीले काजू खा।
बच गया, बच गया, बच गया।
तीनों बच गए, तीनों बच गए। क्या हुआ?
सरदार क्या खिला दी?
धोनी, बहुत जान है ना तेरे ये बैट में। ये बैट मुझे दे दे।
ना ठाकुर।
ये बैट मुझे दे दे धोनी। अच्छा सुनो, जाने से पहले ये लेते हुए जाओ, क्योंकि धोनी यहां भी है और वहां भी है।
And then, it is definitely bittersweet because there comes a point in every cricketer's career where, you watch them play and you want them to continue to play and you want them to continue to perform. But as they're getting older, their reflexes are getting slower and they're not able to contribute and they're not able to keep up. So I think I personally was looking forward to Dhoni's retirement. And I wanted him to, retire gracefully. Unfortunately, we did not get a chance to see him bat again on the international arena. But we will continue to see him in IPL, and I very closely follow IPL and all the matches as well. So it's good that at least we'll get a glimpse of him and continue to see him in action. The other thing is, I think it was good for him to retire because it had come a time where he had to pave the way for the next generation, and whether that's, Rishabh Pant, or is that somebody, one of the other grooming cricketers, wicket-keeping options that India has, whether it is Saha in the test side or, one of the other swashbuckling, batsmen that India has. But it was time for them to move on and start thinking about the next World Cup. So I do appreciate Dhoni putting the interest of the Indian cricket team before his, because it was really getting into a point of when is he going to retire, and it's never a good conversation to have or put somebody under a lot of pressure to come up with that decision. So anyways, ये तो हमारा थोड़ा सा चर्चा धोनी के ऊपर. And just a quick footnote, I think आज Suresh Raina also announced his retirement. I know, जैसे कि आप जानते हैं, he's played very closely with Dhoni, with CSK, and also in the Indian cricket team. I liked Suresh Raina as a good aggressive batsman. Unfortunately, he has those vulnerabilities against the bouncers and the short pitch ball, which never really got him a continued chance in the Indian cricket squad. But he was also a good, handy spinner as well, and a decent fielder. So, I wish him all the best as well, along with Dhoni. और देखें जाते हुए जो है हम क्योंकि दिल है पाकिस्तानी, तो और हमारा काम है इस शो पे जो है वो ट्रोल करना, राइट. तो अगर हम ट्रोल नहीं करेंगे तो बात कैसे बनेगी. तो जाते हुए मेमोरीज तो बहुत है MS धोनी की, उनके मोन्टाज, उनकी फुटेज वगैरह आपने देखनी तो आप कोई भी वेबसाइट पे जाके देख सकते हैं. बट हम आपके लिए एक ही लास्ट चीज़ में प्रेजेंट करेंगे, जो मोन्टाज अनफॉर्चुनेटली Dhoni ka last match, that was his last 350th one-day international semi-final versus New Zealand, and it was a must-win match, and Dhoni had the chance to save the team. Unfortunately, it did not get Indian cricket team over the line. So unfortunately, this will be the last international memory for Dhoni. But since हमारा काम है मिर्ची लगाना, तो ये लें आपके लिए हम वापस से from our World Cup, one of our World Cup videos that we did. We'll post that segment in here. And here you go. And till next time, enjoy the clip, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Reverse swing.
Pitta ka para ka picche, swat para ka picche Dhoni, India trailing by 25 runs, what a shot, Dhoni lang nanalo, Martin!